Man, what's good, y'all? Back with another video. And listen, man, I woke up this morning and I checked my sub box and I seen a video from Swagkage with Seth the programmer and someone named Six, I believe, was his name. Newer YouTuber. Um, and they were talking about Minato versus the first Hokage. The topic was Minato versus the first Hokage and who would win. And they all came to the as soon as the video started off. The first thing they said was they all agreed that they think the first Hokage would take it, but there is some argument to where Minato could maybe win or catch him off guard with a ceiling jutsu or something, or just overwhelm him with speed. I'll be the first to admit that I'm biased. Um, with Minato, out of Naruto, I'd say my favorite characters are Minato and Obito. So the the minute they started the video, I was like, oh, I gotta hear what they about to say. They gave some good points. Basically, what it came down to was Hashirama's regeneration is too much. But here's the thing, though. I feel like in the Naruto community, or just anime in general, for 1v like for hypotheticals, hypothetical 1v1s, we shouldn't use other fights to base like okay, you'd use other fights to a degree to base the scale of one of a hypothetical or like where it would go, obviously, right? But you can't use like, so they were using Hashirama versus Madara, and the fact that those two are just on different levels of like, tiers of fighters in the Naruto universe, right? And me personally, you can't do that. You can't do that with every fight. Not You can do that obviously. Like if you say Hashirama versus Deidara, like obviously, right? Like we know who's winning that. But even to that, there's some argument where Deidara maybe could, only because of that invisible thing that he has. No, because I think Hashirama Sage. Anyway, I think Hashirama Sage mode would, but whatever. Minato, in particular, I feel like he could he could beat Hashirama only because his speed. Like, yeah, Hashirama could regenerate, but what he gonna do? Regenerate, and then Minato would just hit him again, and then again, and then again, and then again. And they even said in their video that there's no feats of Hashirama being like he's durable, but not like, I don't think he's like Naruto durable, if that makes sense. I think Naruto was like really one of the him and maybe who else? Maybe like Killer B and like those Raikage that were like durable, like body wise, right? But I don't think Hashirama was that type of durable. He just, because if he was, then he wouldn't need to regenerate as much as he did, right? And even then, they brought up the fact that Madara was winning the fight most of the time, where he was just beating him up, and Hashirama would just heal the damage. So if that's the case, if Madara was able to keep damaging him, what would Minato do? Now I know Minato doesn't have the same attack power that Madara has, but that speed though, and he has a Rasengan, he has Sage mode. You know what I mean? And I never understood where like Minato can't just cut someone's head off. You like you're I don't care. I know how durable Hashirama is, and like and I know he has Sage mode too, and like the his wood style. But what is he gonna do against that speed though? Like it's like one of them made a joke in the video, say he's gonna summon a tree. Like what is that gonna do? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? This man, look on the screen, you can see this man can teleport Bijou bombs, right? What he teleported a Bijou bomb before the other Kage even got to the, what you call it, the battlefield when they got resurrected. It's like I just feel like for like Minato, I feel like in they specifically in the show they said like you cannot 1v1 Minato. It's not a thing, right? Because even in the during the little war, the war that they were doing, what was it, the third war? They even said they called him the Yellow Flash, and that if you see him to run because he could take out entire squads and battalions. He was fighting. He was basically fighting a war on his own. So it's like, what makes you think Hashirama in a 1v1 setting could beat him? I don't see it. I don't see it. Now I'm obviously biased because he's like my favorite character. It's between him and Obito. It always switches, but or even Naruto's get thrown in there sometimes. Like and the one and here's my point, right? He 1v1 to Obito, who's also, you cannot 1v1 and beat him. But that has more merit to my point where the one time he did 1v1 to Obito, it led to his death. So it's like you can't use other fights. You can't use Hashirama beating Madara. He barely beat Madara, right? Like he barely won. Like that could have went either way. So me personally, I think Minato would beat Hashirama. And if we're being real, I think there's not a lot of characters in Naruto that can mess with Minato. In a 1v1, no. Like Obito's like the only one for real, for real. He counters Obito, but I'd say Obito counters him too. So it's like it goes hand to hand. Literally, he's the only person I can think of. Like, and maybe Naruto, I guess. But yeah, I give Naruto because Naruto's got speed too. He's pretty much the same. He moves as fast as Minato teleports, I think, or something like that. Like literally, who? If we're being real, who could 1v1 Minato? Because if he teleports and just slices your head off, that's literally what he did to Obito. The only reason he survived was because he absorbed the Ten Tails right after he did it during the war. So this man literally got in between Eight Gates guy going this way and Jubi Madara, and they were moving in slow motion to him, and then he teleported the True Seeking Orbs. Like, bro, come on, bro. What is Hashirama gonna do with that? What is he gonna do? Like, I genuinely want to know, like, because I can't think of anything. He just get hit and then just regenerate, right? And then just keep getting hit over and over. That's all. Like, look, what would he do? He summon a wood golem. What is the golem gonna? How was the golem gonna hit Minato? And then they said Minato's only problem is damaging Hashirama. But in that same video, they said Hashirama is not as durable as people believe. Like, that he has no body, he has no durable feats with his body. So it's like, and like if Minato just teleports and slices his head off, like, or just stabs him anywhere in his head, like, he's done. There's no healing that. No, I guess there is, because they did say he could heal organs, but that's your head though. If your head is off, like it's off your body, there's no healing. There's no healing that. I couldn't even. The only person I've seen replace limbs is like Obito. Obito and I think there's someone else. Zetsu doesn't count, right? I mean, I guess he used Zetsu, but I don't know. I don't see no one hanging with Minato. If you're 1v1, if you go in a fight with Minato in a 1v and like try to 1v1 him, you deserve to lose. Like, you're not winning. Because his speed is just too much. That's probably why he killed Minato off early. Like, if we're being real, that's probably why. The whole thing of Orochimaru being on Minato's level, and like they could have both been. I think Orochimaru could have been a Hokage, but he's not on Minato's level, not even close. Because Itachi's not even on Minato's level, and Itachi bullied Orochimaru. So it's like, I mean, I guess you could argue that Itachi's on his level, but how? Like, how would he? How? What would he do to Minato? How? Like, he's too quick. As much as I like Itachi, he's too fast. He can't do nothing with him. And Itachi couldn't even see Shisui. Like, Shisui was above him. and he's nowhere near the speed of Minato. I don't even think he did this. He just did the flicker jutsu or whatever, the body flicker. I don't know. All this to say, I think Minato would body Hashi, not body him, but like he just wear him down. And then people think Minato don't got stamina. I don't even know. They mentioned that in their video. I don't even know where. What? Like, I feel like it's common sense that teleporting a Bijou bomb in like tens of thousands of ninja would wear anyone out. And people think he doesn't have stamina because he teleported a Bijou bomb and got tired. Like, yeah, anyone would. Like, what are we talking about here? Even like, let's say Naruto. Well, I think he does have the Raijin, the flying Raijin. I don't know. I don't know if he does, but let's say Naruto had that. Naruto the most, or Naruto is the character with like the most stamina in that show, easily. So even if he did that, I'm pretty sure he would be worn out. So it's like, I don't. Minato definitely has enough stamina to fight it for a lot. If he can fight entire battalions in the middle of a war by himself, he can fight for a long time. I'm not hearing that. Like, if someone could convince me, what? Because they didn't convince me. They at the end of the video, they basically just said, yeah, Hashirama would win, but how? They didn't say how. Like, what would he? They just said Minato wouldn't be able to hurt Hashirama. That's all they said. Even though he definitely would, but like, how would Hashirama hurt Minato with Sage mode? Come on, like, how would he even touch him? He would just get hit over and over and just keep healing. Like, he runs out of chakra eventually. Like, I don't. Like, I think people downplay how strong Minato actually is. And remember, Minato's the only person that even damaged Obito. When Obito attacked the village with the Nine Tails, he's the only person that could theoretically damage Obito. So even when they were fighting Jubito, what's the writer? I forget his name. I feel bad. I always forget his name. But he wrote in there a way for Obito not to use his Kamui. When he uses Kamui, he wrote in there a way for Obito not to be able to use Kamui while the Jubi's inside of him. If Obito could use Kamui and those Jubi powers, come on, bro. They would have lost. Nobody would have, unless Minato was there. Maybe even then, I'm pretty sure they would have lost. Like, Obito would have took over the world. So it doesn't make sense. Like, those are like those two characters. They're not the strongest in the show because it's obviously Naruto and probably Sasuke, I guess. Naruto and Sasuke. In terms of raw power, it's Naruto and Sasuke. But if we're talking about two characters that cannot be beaten, it's Minato and Obito. I would say you can't beat them. You can't. Like, Naruto, you can argue you can't beat Naruto, but it's definitive that you cannot beat Obito. Like, if he has that Kamui, you're not. He didn't even have both his eyes, and he did what he did. Same thing with Minato. Like, oh man, I don't get it. I feel like those two just get downplayed. Like, if we're being real, Obito could do everything Madara was doing. When Madara got resurrected and killed all those ninja, he fought the five Kage. Obito could have did that too. I mean, he kind of did do it. Yeah, he did do it. Because he was fighting all those ninja before Madara showed up by himself. Over in the other battlefield with Naruto, Killer Bee, Guy, before Madara showed up. When Naruto knocked his mask off. So, like, I don't see, unless there's a jutsu I'm forgetting. And can't Minato like seal? Doesn't he have like sealing jutsu from the Uzumaki clan? Like, not like, it's GG's. Like, bro, how are you gonna beat Minato? If he's if Minato saw the first Hokage as a threat or something, like let's say Minato was born in another village and he was like or a ambu for another village or something. That would be a problem. Like they would hope Obito is a good guy because Obito's the only person I see even touching Minato, and even then Minato bodied Obito. So it's like I don't know. This man teleported a tailed beast bomb and then bodied Obito. Come on, bro. I don't see it. But yeah, that's enough of my ranting. I'm done. If you guys have any way you can, convince me that he could beat Minato or anything, please just let me know because I don't see it. I don't, or anybody. Like just name, like just convince me that anyone could beat Minato because I don't see it. Like who? No, I don't see it. There's no one except Obito. He's like except Obito with both his eyes. That's the only person. And even then, I still like I don't know. They would probably just both lose. They'd probably just both die from hitting each other. But like they counter each other, so it's like I don't know. I don't know. You guys can convince me. Leave it in the comment section. Other than that, I'm done. I'm definitely gonna make more videos like this though, because I enjoyed this. This was fun. Peace.